I have something very important to say.
You have extra security here this weekend?
This is not a good moment for me, because I actually happen to like this man. You understand? A future Hall of Famer, one of the greatest tight ends in the history of football, who, quite frankly, you all don't deserve.
All right, let me ask you this.
It's good to see you.
He wasted the best years of his life on you guys.
Jason, let's get to the game, though, because obviously you guys have been missing a receiver. You get Amari Cooper. What do you expect from him tonight?
Well, I think you're going to look for him to stretch the field. I mean, they went out and got him because they feel like they have to have explosives. One thing you know in pro football is if you don't have explosive plays, you don't get points. So he's the one guy that can really do that. It's been missing. He's got Cole Beasley underneath. He's got Zeke Elliott he wants to run the football with. But you need somebody that can get separation at the top of the routes and go deep. And I think they're going to get him involved early in this game to prove that, hey, look, we're still in the hunt. We can go make this playoffs in a wide open NFC East.
Isn't this move to acquire Amari Cooper really about Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones and those boys trying to decipher and decide what Dak Prescott truly is worth, what he really brings to the table, since he's eligible to receive a long-term extension come this offseason?
Yeah, and I think it's also to win football games. I mean, you've had 2.5 years with Dak Prescott, right? And so, but the problem you had was you knew that they weren't getting any separation on the outside. Those big plays weren't going to happen. So the formula is the offensive line, run the football, and then the play actions off of that. But he just didn't have anybody that could consistently win. So I think Jerry, like he always does, he evaluates it. Let's not wait till February and talk about this, because you're right. You can't evaluate Dak properly without having anybody on the outside getting separation. So Amari brings that. He's young. So not just for right now, but for the future as well.
Jason, some of what a team invests in a guy is where they pick him in the draft. So Mariota 2 overall, that's a bust if he doesn't work out. And part of it is how much time you spend developing the guy, right? Dak, they spent a lot of time developing, but it was only a 4th-round pick, 135th overall. So that said, how secure do you think Dak's job is? Like, at what point, now that he has Amari Cooper, he's got a great running game, still got a good offensive line, could be great in the future, got a good defense, how secure is his job? How long is the leash, do you think? We know Jason Garrett's ain't going to be forever. What about Dak?
I think Dak's is longer than you think. You know, I mean, you look at this football team, 9-7 last year. I was a part of that. Now they're sitting here at 3-4. It's certainly not the way he started out his rookie year, but I still think you can win with him. He's a franchise quarterback. He can make all those plays. Adding these pieces around him is what they need to do and how they've tried to address it. So I do think Dak's leash is long. He's the future for this organization and the guy. But he needed some weapons.
In all seriousness, I agree with you, and I truly believe that Dak Prescott's worth. I got mad respect for Dak Prescott. My problem with the Cowboys is this: why the hell are they always waiting? How come you wait until 6-7 games in to do something like this? Why did you put yourself in this position to begin with? You let go of Des Bryant, I got that, but Allen Hurns, really? So you got Allen Hurns with Beasley, with Terrence Williams and these boys. No real viable replacement for you. Not that that's easy to do. I do understand that, but once again, the Dallas Cowboys, they may have made the right move. They may have, but it might be a bit too late when they should have. Well, how do you explain that?
Yeah, that's fair. It's accurate. I think, you know, they probably bought into, we can do this wide receiver by committee. They looked in the draft. They probably thought, okay, we can see if we can go there and what we need to do. And they were trying to address the defense. And you're right. After 6 weeks, they were sitting there like, man, you know, we're not having a guy on the outside that consistently can win. And so Dak's running around and trying to make these plays with his legs, but he's taking a lot of hits. He's put a lot of pressure on Zeke Elliott in that running game. The line has been a little bit banged up. They haven't played to that level. And so that formula, people don't realize this, but when you play this style offense, the margin's so tight. Because if you run it, now you're in 3rd down. Well, you're putting a lot of pressure on 1 3rd down. You don't get it, now you're punting. So you're right, they did wait, but I give Jerry and Steven a lot of credit that they made that decision now while the NFC East is still open. So 9 weeks, they're evaluating it. You better rest assured of that.
NFC East is still open. Who do you think is the best team right now in the division?
I think Philadelphia Eagles right now as it stands is the best team in the division. I think, though, when I say that, something hasn't been clicking up there. Obviously, you think what they did, they had Golden Tate, Alshon Jeffrey, Carson Wentz is healthy now, and Zach Ertz is that playmaker. So this division's wide open. I mean, you look at Washington, what they did yesterday.
Redskins are on top right now, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but, you know, you watch that game, you say, well, you know, anybody can win this division. And for the Cowboys, firing the offensive line coach, going to get Amari Cooper on the bye week, you sit there and say, you can win tonight and get to 4-4, you're back in it.
Smart for the Cowboys, do you think, to push their chips to the middle of the table now? They gave up a first-round pick for a wideout who hasn't been productive in recent years. Like, that's like a team that thinks, we're ready to win now. Let's do it now. Is that the Cowboys?
Well, I think you have to look at it that way because your defense is playing good and playing top 5 in the league right now. So you got to say, okay, we have no chance if we don't add some separation, somebody that can get separation on the outside. So by doing that, I think the formula is, yes, you do make that decision. First round pick for Amari Cooper, yeah, I get it. If they don't win another game and that's a top 10 pick, you don't love it. But if they get in the playoffs, you sit there and look at Amari and say, that's a bright future only being 24 years old.
I'm going to ask this question. And I'm going to give you an opportunity to look at these Cowboy fans who love you dearly. And by the way, this isn't just for you, Jason Witten. It's going to be for that damn playmaker, Michael Irvin. It's going to be for that damn the prime-time Deion Sanders. All of these Cowboys, all right? I want you to explain to me on live national television how a franchise that has not won a playoff game, that won 2 playoff games, rather, in 23 years deserves to be America's team.
Are you kidding me?
But deserves to be America's team. I want an explanation.
That is a legitimate question.
I want an explanation.
The reason is, why are you here today? Because this is America's team. You got on the plane to come here, so that's all you need to know.
In a Cowboy hat.
That's right.
Perfect.
And boots.
He pulled it off, too.
Got a special shirt made and everything.
That's right.